This banned brain hack can make you smarter than any gifted genius. Intelligence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. What if I told you the difference between you and the world's most brilliant minds isn't genetics, but access to information they never wanted you to have? For centuries, a select few have known about cognitive enhancement techniques so powerful they've been systematically hidden from the public. Today, that changes. I'm about to show you the banned 5-step brain hack that can transform an average mind into something dangerously intelligent. Something that processes information faster, sees connections others miss, and solves problems with frightening efficiency. This isn't theory. This isn't pseudoscience. This is the neural reprogramming system that elite thinkers have used to maintain their advantage over everyone else. Pay close attention. I can't guarantee this video will stay up for long. Step 1. The Neural Tension Protocol. The first step might seem counterintuitive, but it's the foundation everything else builds upon. Your brain's default state is laziness. It's designed to conserve energy, follow familiar patterns, and avoid difficult thinking at all costs. This is why most people never reach their cognitive potential. The Neural Tension Protocol forces your brain out of this comfort zone by creating specific types of cognitive stress that literally rewire neural pathways to become more efficient. Here's how to implement it. First, deliberately expose yourself to contradictory information. Find 2 opposing viewpoints on a complex topic and force yourself to understand both completely. Second, practice mental calculation under time pressure. Start with basic arithmetic and gradually increase complexity. The key is the combination of difficulty and urgency. Third, learn a new system of thinking entirely different from your own. Study formal logic, quantum mechanics, or an ancient philosophical framework. When you create this neural tension, something remarkable happens. Your brain forms new connections to handle the stress. These connections don't disappear when the stress ends, they become permanent enhancements to your cognitive architecture. Most people avoid mental discomfort at all costs. They seek easy answers and familiar patterns. This is exactly why they remain average while your mind begins to evolve. But neural tension is just the beginning. Trust me, you'll want to hear what comes next. It's the technique that separates strategic geniuses from everyone else. Step 2. Cognitive loop manipulation. What separates ordinary thinkers from extraordinary ones isn't how much they know, it's how their brain processes what they learn. The average person takes in information and stores it. End of process. But elite minds create what neuroscientists call cognitive loops, feedback systems that continuously refine and enhance information without conscious effort. Here's how to hack this process. First, after learning anything new, immediately teach it to someone else, even if just imaginary. This forces your brain to restructure the information in multiple ways. Second, apply the 3-perspective technique. Examine every problem from 3 radically different viewpoints. This creates connections between neural clusters that normally never interact. Third, practice deliberate incubation. Expose yourself to complex problems, then engage in completely unrelated activities. Your subconscious will continue processing while you're unaware. This cognitive loop manipulation literally changes how your brain operates. You'll begin to notice connections others miss, generate insights without conscious effort, and develop an almost unsettling ability to see through complex problems. The next technique is so powerful I almost didn't include it. This is the one that will change your life, because it rewires the very architecture of your decision-making. Step 3. Strategic neural inhibition. Here's something most people will never understand. Intelligence isn't just about activating the right parts of your brain, it's about silencing the wrong ones. The most brilliant strategic minds throughout history mastered what neuroscientists now call neural inhibition, the ability to systematically suppress mental processes that interfere with optimal thinking. Here's how to implement this banned technique. First, identify your cognitive biases through rigorous self-testing. These are the flawed mental shortcuts undermining your intelligence. Second, create pattern interruption triggers, specific words or physical gestures that instantly break your mind out of emotional or irrational thinking patterns. Third, Practice the 5-second cognitive reset technique. When facing any decision, pause for exactly 5 seconds while mentally visualizing your brain being cleared of all emotional interference. When you master strategic neural inhibition, you'll develop an almost unsettling clarity of thought. While others remain trapped in emotional reactivity and cognitive biases, your decisions will be governed by pure strategic reasoning. This is how you start operating on a different level from those around you. But we're just getting to the truly powerful techniques. The next one is what separates world-changing geniuses from everyone else. Step 4. Divergent cognitive acceleration. The world's most revolutionary thinkers, from Einstein to Tesla, shared one neural trait that's been systematically downplayed in conventional education. They mastered what modern neuroscience calls divergent cognitive acceleration, the ability to rapidly generate multiple solution pathways, while most minds can only conceive of one. Here's how to implement this forbidden technique. First, practice impossibility questioning. When facing any problem, ask what if the fundamental constraints don't actually exist. This bypasses your brain's limiting frameworks. Second, implement systematic constraint removal. List every rule or assumption in a situation, then methodically eliminate each one, forcing your brain to find solutions in seemingly impossible spaces. Third, use conceptual blending. Deliberately combine unrelated concepts or fields to solve problems. Force connections between domains your brain normally separates. When you master divergent cognitive acceleration, you'll develop the ability to see solutions that remain completely invisible to others, not because you're smarter, but because you've literally rewired your neural architecture to process information differently. The final technique ties everything together. This is the one they've worked hardest to keep hidden from the public, because it's what truly separates those who lead from those who follow. Step 5. The Metasystem Protocol. The ultimate difference between average thinkers and true cognitive elites is their relationship to systems themselves. Average minds operate within systems. Elite minds operate upon systems. The Metasystem Protocol is the banned brain hack that allows you to step outside conventional frameworks entirely and manipulate the underlying structures most people don't even realize exist. Here's how to implement this highest-level technique. First, identify the invisible systems governing any situation, the unspoken rules, incentives and patterns that control outcomes without most people's awareness. Second, practice system-level thinking by constantly asking what's the system behind this system. This reveals the hidden architecture of any problem. Third, implement pattern disruption. Deliberately violate expected patterns to reveal system vulnerabilities and opportunities invisible to conventional thinking. When you master the Metasystem Protocol, you develop what might appear to others as an almost supernatural ability to predict outcomes, influence situations, and accomplish what others consider impossible. You're no longer operating within the game. You're rewriting its rules. What I've just shared isn't just another brain training program. These 5 techniques: neural tension, cognitive loop manipulation, strategic neural inhibition, divergent cognitive acceleration, and the Metasystem Protocol, form a complete system for neural reprogramming that can transform how your mind processes reality. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary isn't magical, it's methodical. Every technique I've shared has been systematically excluded from conventional education for one simple reason: cognitive power is the ultimate advantage, and advantages are meant to be hoarded, not shared. But here's the truth. Intelligence isn't fixed. It's hackable, and you now have the blueprint. Start with neural tension tomorrow. Push your mind into uncomfortable spaces. Create the stress that forces growth. Then systematically implement each additional technique. Within weeks you'll notice the difference. Within months, others will too. Remember, the world doesn't reward those who play by the rules. It rewards those who understand the game well enough to change it. The choice is simple: remain as you are, or become what you're truly capable of being. Those who take action now will never see the world the same way again. If this video impacted you, Make sure you subscribe. There are more banned techniques I'll be revealing soon, but only to those who are serious about transforming their minds. Until next time, start thinking differently.